just playing with our hearts. And Olaf being a consideration, still feeling fairly northern as we get a Viking instead of a polar bear. And that will be the lock-in here towards the top side of the map. And this Olaf really...
CFO? Well, thus far, no, but that remains to be seen because obviously HLE is a ridiculously hard opponent. Top, I think, should be more manageable, but still really good.
Ooh, trying to get the sidestep here, but Eddie going to get satcheled back. Jackie Love has him in his sights. One more auto will do it as Tien makes his way down. Barrier last second, but first blood still going to go over to Jackie. They do get a flash out of Tien, but that is the best they can hope for.
Really well played there by Fungyue and Jackie. I don't even know if they needed Tien, to be honest, but he shows up, helps out, does get that assist, and...
All right, Pun, let's see whether he can make this one work. He's on fire for now, gets himself the shield and the solo bolo for Pun in the top lane.
That is huge because
that map, though, as they move over towards this dragon, look to lock down the first one.
Yeah, it looks like they will be able to do that, but TSW are moving over.
Oh, another anchor. Beer has been fantastic with these. It is going to be Tien locking down the Drake, but Jackie is in a lot of trouble. He is going to hold on to the flash and still go down. That is another kill as well as Dire is able to lock down the Rel. And TSW off to a great
start. The Rel was just kind of sitting behind him in that brush. Then obviously Hizdo gets spotted on that control ward. So then he's going to go over there and try to help him out. Pun has got to get back to the lane. He's kind of just trying to decide what to do.
He's just going to run it. Jueon, Dire is going to move his way up towards that top side. The flash out. The ignite was ticking, but it's not going to work. And Hizdo is going to...
But he knew he had 4 members in the area, is able to survive, barely lives, and now Hizdo scrapping.
Yeah, Tien taking a bit of damage here, but Fungyue is going to make his way in before BA gets here. There's the kickback though, Cataclysm, safeguard immediately up. There's the knockup, Mega Inferno Bomb, not quite enough, but Cream is there to lock up the kill. Still it's a 1-for-1. Both junglers down, and Cream is on the wrong side of the map. And Dire has got a prism with his name on it. There's an undertow to connect. I don't know why there's a Viking here, but he is. And Pun is going to look to grab the kill. Dire is going to take it away. And this is turning into a real snowball, despite the fact that Jueon is up here towards the top side getting some damage on this turret.
Yeah, that is huge, because this is Dire here. There's no real way for him out, so his objective just became buying time for Jace to get plates.
All right, well, we are 3-man on the grubs for now. Looks like Hizdo's not going to be able to do anything about it, especially with, yeah, it's a 5-man. There's a Jace and a Yone on the flanks, and so they'll say, yep, you guys can have that one, and they will doing more damages.
Yeah, this champion is going to become very resilient. And when Ryze gets to 3-4 items, it becomes tough, I think, for TES to take him down.
Well, BA is dealing with 3 people, but he is able to flash away really nicely. Kickback is gorgeous onto Fungyue. They are going to be able to take him down first as Tien in with the Cataclysm. Everyone getting out, but it's the Olaf that just dives into everyone. Mega Inferno Bomb will help put him down, but not before Dire has taken out the Jace. They get rid of Jackie Love as well. There's the damage missing, and TSW can do no wrong today.
They are looking incredible here. 10-3, a 3K gold lead. They'll take the Herald as well, as TES kind of inexplicably hard force on what felt like the Nautilus.
Yeah, so far today.
I mean, I'm just going to highlight the jungler's item.
Oh.
And you can do with that what you will, because...
Wait, they didn't color in the axe correctly. That looks like a small rock.
It does.
On the other side of the screen, where Ryze hits one of the most famous 2-item spikes already. Without getting his Seraphs there. There is the Cataclysm into this mid lane as Eddie already going to be flashing out of the way. Fungyue is a bit too far forward though. Booted back and taken down. BA though is just going to try and take a Shelly exit, but she was on no health, so that's not going to work. A trade of supports, probably... They're not a secret, you know? The whales are just there.
Team
and they're really
whales.
big. Yeah, team very much their whales. As Hizdo, he is very much there as well. He's going to find Jackie Love as there is the resonating strike kick. Not sure about that play though, as he just lands the Q, and that is going to do it. And he knows that he wanted to kind of follow him over that wall.
That one was more secret. He was around the corner.
Yeah, he's like,
they can
wait,
do it all.
Where did he go? Oh, man. Still, a nice little kill there, and that just shows the state of the game, right? Like, he finds Jackie, he messes up a little bit, still kills him. There's still not enough of a response from
problematic is they have no vision in the area here.
There is no even attempt. As they do have Cream on the bottom side of the map. Finally, they get some vision as Tien's making his way over. An interruption attempt here from BA. He can hold Tien in position for quite some time. As Histo, he should be able to lock this one up. There is the kickback, flashes back into it, stolen by Jackie Love of all people! And Tien now gets back over. It is going to be a freebie given there, but still, can TES find more? That is the question. Anchor into the backline as BA is trying to make something happen. Histo is being targeted by Cream, but that is going to be the pickoff, and TSW are going to continue their onslaught. They do take the Realm Warp over. They are going to take Soul Point here. It is only an Ocean, but still should be able to get them a whole lot of power, especially against all this poke that is going to be coming out of TES later on in this game. TES not too worried about Drakes, though. They are just looking to clear out these inner turrets, and they will be able to do so. Jackie with the satchel will be able to execute it. And there is still an outer in
Olaf
with the Ocean Soul feels pretty ridiculous as well.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, you know, Senna sustain plus the additional sustain from the Ocean Soul. Lee Sin is here for Rise. I just feel like that is the Rise item.
Oh no, I've been watching too many Chovy videos, you know, he just loves a dash cannon. And look, you understand it, extra mobility for the Rise does make some sense.
You cannot go solo that Dragon. BA has base, he's coming back out, and Eddie can keep them pretty healthy, so they're buying time well. Ragnarok's up in a couple seconds here, so they could actually look for a fight when BA gets back. Yeah, well, looking for an angle right now is down to 50% is Pun, but he does have that Ragnarok like you were talking about. Fangui looking for a bit of an angle, but BA gets in there first. There's the knockoff. They take out the Jace Dawning Shadow to keep the team alive as Tien. Cataclysm on top of the Senna, but it's not going to do anything. He's just going to kill everyone around him. It's a double for Dire. Jackie Love goes down for the triple. Can they give him the quadra? That's the question. Pun says no. Eddie's just going to collect it. They'll take a Baron, though, and Team Secret Wales, 4K gold lead. They look like they're about to win game one. That's 5 for 1 at the Baron. They're going to get Baron and Soul and an ace. What a start to this series for TSW. And that fight, let's be honest, it wasn't even real. They get it all.
Yeah, they get the Soul as well, as you can see picture in picture. And I swear, like, Eddie's positioning in that fight as well, absolutely gorgeous. So much of Top Esports' composition is front-loaded, as BA might be in a little bit of trouble, but he's a pretty tanky Nautilus. There's the root, and down will go Tien. No options. Kickback is gorgeous onto Fangui. It's a setup for the anchor, as Histo and BA, man, this is a gang squad that are working so beautifully. Cream, oh dear, he is going to have to go back to that blind monk, and Histo will find him. Another anchor comes in. TSW are just styling on them. Jackie will be able to get a kill back, though, as BA a little bit overly aggressive, but there is Pun flashing on forward, picks up the kill, and TSW, I think they just want to focus on game number 2 and send this one into the books.
It absolutely looks like they do. They have that wave mid here. Swayan's got to try to clear out the wave as much as he possibly can, because Jackie and Cream are dead for a very long time. This next wave is coming up, though. I don't know. I don't think they have time to finish. I think it will just be the inhib and then a base.
Yeah, it should be. They will have a lot of their health bars back, though, with this Ocean Soul that has been picked up, but maybe not in time for Fangui to start some sort of defense engage.
Wow, indeed.
Wow, indeed, indeed. As Dire is indeed legendary. 9-0-10 as Jackie's lying on the floor. Sometimes we had this issue yesterday, but the replays are difficult. The video game is just accelerating here, but mainly beyond TES. I mean, it's quadruple the kills here for Team Secret Wales. They are close to a 10,000 gold lead as Pun is going to turn Cream unbinding his soul into a, you know, an attempt for a bit of a ghost engage, but he's just running around the enemy base, just having a great time. And the inhibitor's already down in the mid lane. They're going to do the same thing for this top side one, and Top Esports, one last opportunity for a defense, but man, it's going to be so hard. 11,000 gold in the hole. And there's a full Zonya's done for Dire here. There are 3 items on the center. She's starting to scale up. And by starting, I think she's basically at the end, because this game does not have very much left in it unless Top Esports can perform a miracle. Jackie behind his Nexus, trying to use that for protection, but that means these Nexus turrets are in so much trouble. And they're just waiting, letting these minions do the work. As first Nexus turret does go down. The Unbound Soul is going to be able to keep Cream alive, but he still takes so much damage here. Dire just going to be dashing back. And there is the Magna Storm. They try and get on top of the Rise. Mega Inferno Bomb not doing nearly enough as the Dawning Shadow comes on through. And Fangui is just going to die as an afterthought. Xueyan is going to have to get out of there, but it's Jackie that's mown down. Histo finds his mark, and it's the Team Secret Wales that take game number 1 over Top Esports. And man, maybe we had this team underestimated. Maybe Life Esports are just completely ballistic, and it's Team Secret Whales that should have been the favorites here.
29 kills.
All right, Pun, thinking about what he wants to do, it looks like the Gnar is going to be the final consideration. Not necessarily helping, but this is what we were talking about before. I like it way more. I mean, this is what a lot of people think of, like the primary matchup into the Rumble, but also really helps the composition like you were asking for.
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense. Now you have leaders in the world, and though he has had really good regional performances, he hasn't been able to translate that. And that was kind of a lot of the discussion last time we saw him internationally, was he's just not showing up. He's not, cut for this level in American football. So,
is it really?
We'll go with Australia.
Yeah, we got the better points rule.
He's got 6.
Yeah, crazy.
That's pretty good.
We can also just run around and kick the ball whenever we want and pass it to each other. There's basically no rules in our football. Okay, Histo, can he actually get one of these? It looks like the answer is yes, as they are going to throw the ram over towards Tien, but now they don't have that ulti for the retreat. Will that matter? Looks like the answer is going to be no for now. Dragon for another minute though, so no need to worry about that one. And can Cream find his way in? That's going to be the question. Remember, this is an Neferi, can go untargetable, so it can be a little bit annoying, as that is going to be Tien. Gets the wild growth there as well, and they just blow up Histo immediately. Tien gets himself out. The magical journey is taken for the retreat.
Histo wanting to be the one that was starting this toss aggressively, but Feng Yue moved over. Cream was there. They had the...
In the meantime, Xueyan is very dead.
He is, and he lost his flash.
Going to be locked in as Cream just throws an Orb of Deception, says, I'm helping. And we're going to see how it all started here, picture in picture, as it is going to be an Ocean Soul again. A little bit of a shame. See whether this is going to be the game that Xueyan can do the same thing, as Pun wants to make his way towards this outer turret. That's a great Cosmic Binding. I'm not sure about the Tempered Fate, though.
I am sure about it.
You're
sure? It was very not good.
Very not good.
Yes.
Okay, well, Pun is going to try and find a ram. We'll be able to throw it into the minion wave because he knows that he's dead, I guess. And Tian's going to make his way back down, but that is not even going to get him an assist. That should be a turret going down, as Top Esports are able to just overload the bottom lane and grab even more. And this is now Top Esports with tempo control, and they are pushing it very quickly now.
Yeah, they are kind of getting everything control at this point, as Eddie could be in trouble too. Cream has no ult, so he's not going to go for the long-range engage there on the Vi, because Cream wouldn't be able to actually close the gap. I mean, that ult for BA would be great if you were Nautilus or Rel, but when you're Bard, you just zone use the enemy Ahri in the middle of the bullet time, so that was not it.
All right, Tien, there is the cease and desist. Tries to get on top of Histo there, as Dire trying to get himself out of the way. Bit of an angle, though, as now Tien taking a lot of damage. Cream now inside the Thunderdome and does have to flash. That Spirit Rush not up.
And have full control now in the mid game, and it's starting to feel like, barring some sort of big play, big team fight for TSW, this one is going more and more towards top.
Well, that's exactly what they're going to have to look for here. I feel like it is now about Team Secret Whales being able to manufacture their way towards a winning game state, because as this game moves forward naturally, Top Esports should just get further and further ahead with their natural advantages that they have, especially in side lanes. We're seeing that right now as Cream is at least going into the Koenig Rooker, and so that feels a little bit better for Pun. But with the Rift Herald now at about 50%, Top Esports wanted to try and fight this one, as BA trying to deal with Jackulov and not quite being able to do so, as Xueyan going to have to flash to get out of the way. Dire's over the wall though, and they look to try and get rid of this Rumble. He should be going down, but a few buttons do need to land. The wild growth to keep him alive, as Jackie could be in trouble fighting against Eddie now, but Jackie just destroys the Bard, and Eddie needs to run for the hills. Now finally, Pun's made his way in, as the Ram gets a knock-up, but I don't think Top Esports really care about it.
Absolutely could not, even with the ult. If they wanted to commit to that, I feel like Pun needed to be there way earlier, but he was clearly worried about getting his TP interrupted, so
yeah,
it's like he needs to be there when Eddie is going to press R, right? You know, you need to kind of layer those abilities, because he's the only CC.
All right, there is going to be the punch, and Dire going to have to get himself out of there. That is going to be the last hit. Jackulov able to take out the Aurora. And sometimes you just set up a Fnatic into the game yet, and already he is so incredibly strong. They do get the ulti out of him, so that is something in trade for that Tempered Fate. And Team Secret Whales still looking for an angle, but Eddie is so close to dead. Jackie just diving forward. The bullet time is going to be able to help take him down as they trade 80 carries. Maybe this will work for Team Secret Whales, as now Cream trying to dash around this fight. Great charm onto Histo, who flashes back into the equalizer. Not entirely sure about that one, but he doesn't fall down just yet. Pun now trying to be that front line, trying to tank it up as Dire doing a lot of damage. Great polymorph to deny any sort of escape from this on, and they're going to look for the turret as well. Top Esports, much better form here in game 2.
Absolutely are, and that's been chunked out a decent bit already, and now you have lost control of that river, which is going to make it so tough, I feel like, for them to get back in, and D-Ray is looking for a recall TP.
Yeah, Histo actually coming around towards his bottom side as well. Is Harpoon going to connect? Team Secret Whales just trying to get themselves into a position where they can even contest this. As there's the punch back onto Pun. He takes so much damage. Equalizer is going to need to be walked here by the Ornn. Gets the heal, though, and the Equalizer hasn't really done too much. Tempered Fate once again goes wide. Can they find more with the Ram as it gets the double knockup? There is the bullet time, but it has to be immediately stopped. And down goes Dire before the fight. It really even had a chance to break out. An immediate teleport will get the Rumble in there. The walking barbecue to take down the hot dog. Histo falls first, and the rest will follow suit. It's a clean ace for Top Esports. They can take a Soul, they can take a Baron, they can take a Nexus if they want.
And they can take a game 2, it's starting to feel like here. Great bounce back game from TES, up 8K and a Soul. They completely destroy them in that team fight. Use the Equalizer early, chunk them low, even with that bullet time being comboed with the Call of Forge God. It just didn't matter because Cream was on the side to instantly force the cancel, land the charm, and then I love the combat TP there from Zweyan, using the deep ward that they had earlier to chase them down, knock them out.
Really epitomized it. You explained it. It's so hard for this composition to even work.
Yeah.
And so it's going to possibly be a bridge too far. As Jackie underneath the turret might be an option, as Eddie down to almost dead before anything's even really happened. And now Fangway is there to keep Jackie alive. More of these minions to be going down as they're pushing wave after wave into these inner turrets. And every time they slink into the fog of war, Team Secret Whales do need to try and look for them. They still at least have one blue trinket available here from Eddie to try and scout that back.
Famous as being one of the best team fighters of all time. And so it really did feel like they got comfort across the board, and they are utilizing it.
All right, the Ram's going to come on through. They're looking for Jackie. They'll get him as the bullet time is paired with it as well. He'll dash himself out of the way. The Equalizer fantastic in a corridor at the same time as Jackie turns it around. Pun's going to be the first to go down, and everyone else is almost dead just from incidental damage.
Exactly, and the Ornn is so far forward, and you're wondering, where's the rest of TSW? Well, they're all running from Cream, because Cream was again wrapping behind the Ornn and threatening the carries. Cream is never caught with Jackie, even though Jackie had to use the ult, had to use a flash, had to use some big tools there. Cream was threatening the backline, making it difficult for TSW to really continue that fight, to continue moving forward. As a result, they kill the Ornn, they chunk him out, they take the Baron, and they are on the march here to try to even this series up.
Yep, already this Rebel Baron power play will be expanding. This inner turret is going to be taken first, and Top Esports now with so much pushing power, going to be absolutely deadly for the TSW base. They're going to try and do their best to clear out these waves. They do have some wave clear on this squad, but I just don't know whether it's going to be enough. As that's a good charm onto Pun. Dire looking for a bit of an angle there as he does half the health bar of the Rumble. But this Ocean Soul, man, it is doing so much work here for Top Esports.
Yeah, and I love how much they're actually intentionally utilizing it. They're forcing trades constantly and getting value.
Oh, Tempered Fate is going to be able to catch Jackie, but he doesn't seem too worried about it. Dire down to half health once again. Eddie going to get tagged. Equalizer, great position. The last hit with the charm from Cream was pretty clean, and they'll be able to take the inhibitor in this mid lane. Is this just the end, though? That's the question. Is Weon going to get himself a shield as they look to make their way in? Down goes Dire to start this one out. The Ram is there, but it's not really doing too much. And that is going to be the first Nexus turret falling down. Top Esports get the knock up onto Pun. He'll be taken out. Some revenge for what he did in the top lane in game 1 as the Nexuses are evened in this series. And we've got a best of 3 to follow this.
Did see actually from Bin yesterday, and he was able to build a really big advantage. And then
it's set instead. All right. That was not what I was expecting.
That's a good cook.
Yeah, and that's going to be a whole lot of fun towards the top side. Man, imagine slamming a Scion into his team.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's nice that Pun has this advantage, but Cream is building just as big of an advantage in mid lane, so it's not, it doesn't feel like it's enough just yet. Of course, there's always the X factor of a set.
Yeah, looking for the angle here as the beat drop is not quite going to work out. That true shot barrage doing so much work. Jackalope gets the heal back though, and Eddie in trouble. Tries to get into the brush, he does so. Has the barrier, but he doesn't have his life. First blood over to Jackie, and he's looking for another one. The arrow will connect. The volley to finish off the Karma, and they turn around this bottom lane.
Survives, but still at the end of the day, it's going to be the Sion now going back to bot. Set has to walk out towards top now, and he's going to be in a 1v2 where he can't really do anything, and he has no flash, so he can't threaten an all-in whatsoever. So TES, their bot lane winning relieves the pressure, and this is where I'm talking about. Watch Eddie. So they go for the tether, they set it up, but the barrier is there, and then everything, she's going to chase you down.
Yeah, and I also think you don't have to do that, right? Like,
take
just
the chunk.
Yeah, and also just get to 2 items and then make something happen. As there's a suplex as they look for Jackie, and they find him. Couple of punches, and down goes the Ash. So immediate revenge. Cloud Drake is upon us. We'll be finding out what the soul is after this. Double Dragon on the table for TSW, but it looks like Top Esports with control. Fangway going down very low, though, as Eddie finds him with that true shot barrage. As in goes Histo! Finds a beautiful Crescent Guard to break up the fight, and now Cream is completely offside. Has to flash to get out of the way, but the Ash Arrow is going to fly through. PA's the one to tank that one up, but there is a suplex, and they take down Tien. Should be that Double Dragon going on over as Dire is fighting Cream once again. So much spiraling to spare, but it's Top Esports that are the saddest in the end.
Absolutely are here. Eddie, though, could be in some trouble, has the shift, gets over the wall. They're going to go mid, so they win the fight here. They get the dragon, and they have mid prio.
Not to mention it's Chemtech Soul with a set in the game. That sounds ridiculous.
And
now,
Karma.
Yeah, Histo looking for an angle towards Juan as well as Eddie. Arcane shifts forward, gets over that wall. It's going to be Histo that locks down the kill onto the Scion. This game has just fallen apart in an instant for Top Esports.
That was brilliantly played, and so to win that fight, and we got to go back to live where Fengyue's in trouble once again.
Oh, Histo. Fengyu is going to be taken out here, but Tien might be soon to follow. Xuan is actually going to be turned on. Histo just wants to hit things, man. His spear is angry. And Team Secret Wales now looking for an angle towards this Rift Herald, and I think they will be able to get it with a support now down. Best they can hope for on the side of Top Esports is a 4 versus 5, and I don't think they're taking that because even when it was even, it did not look very good. As Eddie picks up this wave in mid lane, and speaking of things not looking very good, I mean, you're about to hit the
mid wave. And they're right back into a similar position that they were in game number 1, where they're the ones dictating the pace. Their top side has this huge advantage. Histo and Plun want to fight.
Yeah, Histo is just always going in, man. Tien is going to be able to use that Warrior Trickster to get himself out of the way. But I love watching Histo playing from ahead. He is a completely different player. This guy only moving forward, only going in and putting that extra pressure down. However, it is going to be Top Esports grouping up, taking down the outer turret.
Yeah. You really can get the W flash with a full bar of True Grit, and you can pretty much one-shot someone. It is ridiculous how much true damage that deals.
The League of Legends Persuasion prior to this game.
Look at D-Ray.
All right, looking for the angle. Can he find the right hijack? That's the question. The suplex gets in, lands onto 3. As Zero gets the choice, finds the encore. But the Cyclone is looking good here, and down he will go. Jackie's going to get taken out. The faces are being broken, and now Shelly gets involved. Histo gets into the back line, knocks up Cream. He gets over the wall, though. It's Pun, pulls them in, gets the shield, and tries to walk it off the haymaker to keep him alive. This set is absurd, as Eddie is going to be able to finish him off in the end. Even Pun walking over to say, look, you didn't kill me. That's the ace for Team Secret Wales.
Holy, look at Pun go. He is just taking matters into his own hands. And it's going to be a 20-minute Baron off the back of this. Dunks the Scion into the whole team. And just like I was talking about, gets that full bar of his passive, W flash onto Jackie Love, deletes the Ash, wins the fight, survives the damage from Zweon and Fengyu, gets them the Baron, and they have a stranglehold on this game. Perfect from Pun.
This guy is just amazing. Pun picking whatever he wants and making it work. He's still getting run down, though, as the arrow is going to connect. He has to use the Crescent Guard, but it's pretty effective. As in he goes again. The faces are getting broken. Kareem goes down, and Pun lives on 10 health or something. Dire able to get himself out of the way. Or Dire, if I'm going to say it correctly, is Xuan trying to escape, does so. And this inner turret not going to be falling just yet, but I mean, it just It just feels like we're getting a show from Team Secret Wales here in Game 3. As the
villages are being
Minotaurs.
pillaged.
Yes.
They are losing all the jungle.
At least there are no villages in the villages. If that makes any sense at all. As the arrow is going to go wide, Tien with the Cyclone gets on top of Histo. As Dire trying to do what he can to keep his jungler alive, but Histo is going to be going down. Eddie now finds himself in an awkward spot, but a lot of damage onto this Seraphine. Man, Fengyue has been magnetizing these Mystic shots, and it's really causing some issues, but it's a really nice pick to come through from top Esports.
Well done. You know, they were kind of hunkering down, as you said, but they were losing their jungle as a result of that. But this time they chase down Histo, they punish him for it. Pun just barely did not have TP for that fight. So they have been tracking the TP timer. I think they realize Set is down on bot.
They will be able to collect it here. At least top Esports got the last streak, so it's not Soul, and they're able to get a outer turret back for their trouble.
Yeah, they were trying to get objective bounties. The objective bounties actually just fell off before they took this tower. But now the objective bounties are coming back again because TSW got the dragon. And dragons weighted very heavily in the objective bounty calculations. But TSW maintaining that 5. TS can definitely punish you.
Well, they're walking towards them now. Q is not going to quite find the angle here, as we can see. Eddie's Mystic shots are actually doing a lot of work. He's gone Surreal as his third item as well, so he can actually do a decent amount to the Scion. Tien, though, is going to be the first one to go down. It's the decoy that they're looking for, but Diri finds the chains. Treyon going to have to flash away, but the 3-talent strike catches him, even over the wall. His face is broken, and down he goes. Pun is indeed unstoppable here in this game, and that should mean the Baron going over to Team Secret Wales.
Yeah, now it is not a flip. It is not risky. You kill the jungler, you kill the top laner, and they're going to be able to take this and have perfect timing to set up for the Soul as well as D-Ray.
Yeah, going to be able to take the inner turret. Cream able to get himself out of the way. But man, this Baron is going to be pretty devastating. It is already a 6.5k gold lead, moving that one up to a 7.
Death. And Pun just held on to that. Pun has flash, Pun has ult, and Pun has Asterix, and they're trying to walk through him.
All right, Facebreaker is going to miss, as now Tien thinks that's his opportunity to go in. Oh my lord, that was just the clone, but still. Haymaker doing a whole lot of work here, as we can see. Unstoppable Onslaught looking for Dire. He flashes himself out of it, as maybe an overextension here, as now Histo and Eddie looking for the movement on the side. I like it. You've got Pun flashing out of the way, actually, of the Ash Arrow, not wanting to tank that one up. This is Chemtech Soul, though. And the Ash Arrow has been picked up here by Dire as well. He throws it out immediately. There is the showstopper from Pun. He finds the Facebreaker. It is going to be Tien falling down first. Histo getting into that front line. As down goes the Monkey. Finally, True Shot Barrage over everyone from Eddie. It is lights out for Cream, and the rest are going to follow. So Treyon is a zombie, and Eddie will be able to kill the Seraphine once again. It's a triple for the Ezreal. That's an ace for Team Secret Wales, and it's clean to boot, returning the favor from Game 2.
What a play here from TSW. They are about to take us to match point.
Match point. We haven't had a 4-game series so far here at MSI. If they manage to follow up this one, it will be our first, and we'll see whether they can to keep the LCP in the tournament.
If there's some situation where, you know, the matchup is going to be better for Cream mid, because Cream is blinding, right? You know, so they were kind of waiting to see. So maybe there's an angle for it to get flexed around, but he has played Syndra in his career a handful of times.
Well, the Victor Syndra matchup isn't one I'd necessarily feel the need to dodge. That being said, should be able to get Victor through the lane quite nicely.
Flash Cocoon, which is not impressive in a 5v5, you really have nothing, right? So you kind of have to be there first, set up the trap line, make them walk through Victor Laser, Victor W, Caitlyn Traps, and all of these tools to really make it tough to get in.
Whoa, Eddie might just be dying, though, as we can see here. Feng Shui burning at first blood over to the Elise. Eddie survives as well, and man, Jackie just needed to hit him like one more time.
That was so incredibly close there. Fengyue flashes out, but does die to the Ignite, and Eddie survives. Heartbreaking start here in what could be their final game at MSI.
Oh, man. Devastating. And it's, I mean, I've kind of been caught up in this series and just how impressive. Never mind, I'm going to be caught up in this fight here as well, as Dire gets the shield from the Q, but Tien is just going to skip on over and grab the clean pick. We weren't going to be able to see these teams that were able to try and stand up against a lot of the top regions, but right now, Team Secret Wales, after what was a devastating series against Life Esports, are looking great. However, Pun does get missed by the wallop, still just trying to fight this one out. The Ghoulie Wall working out beautifully, down to the mini-Nar, and he doesn't hit the boomerang! There's the Q! And it's Pun that lost. Pretty good at last hitting, but is otherwise just going to be pretty even at this point in time. We saw, I mean, in the BLG versus T1 series, when it was a very similar matchup to this, it was a similar start and then a very difficult end as the Cocoon is going to connect. BA actually looking for the angle here. He finds the Ignite this time, just needs the auto, and down goes the Pike. Fengwei isn't just yet. However, I may have helped him out here with a little bit of a curse in the other direction. Let's see whether that does actually make an impact as Cocoon, gorgeous here from BA, was back to his game one ways, playing exceptionally well on this Elise.
Yeah, really good job there. Does spend the Ignite, chunks out Fengwei, but he gets the Honey Fruit, so he is going to be okay. You see good big scrap around that dragon, though.
Yeah, Histo looking for a bit of an angle here, throwing briefcases around. The Peacemaker doing so much work as Tien trying to get himself out. He's so low, but Histo locks it up in the end. They do manage to get the kill onto BA, though, as Fengwei, yeah, you're really dead. Just going to get smacked around and destroyed. A double for the Mundo. That is not a good news story. In the meantime, Pun is killing the Void Grubs. Anyone who's been watching MSI, my goodness. What an incredible performance. So fun as well with the champions he's picked up. Briefcase connects onto Cream, has to flash the Cocoon. Up into the sky goes BA. He's got the Scryer's Bloom, because of course he does.
He's dancing on him at this point. I mean, he sets up the previous play with the Cocoon flash onto Tien, and then Tien and Cream both had to flash there, by the way. And they get nothing at all because he has the repel already set up. They take 3 grubs on topside with York, who's already ahead. They get the dragon, and we're about to see his way on die.
Yep, the E comes on through. He flashes the Ghoulie Walls there. He didn't even need it. Just presses Q once again.
Just so much burst and so little consistent DPS from the side of TES, so feels hard.
Oh, God. All right, Treyan is looking for more.
You can't take the ghouls like this. It's like...
Yeah, Cream was rotating down. That's why he was going in, but he was about to just die before the Syndra even arrives. Fengwei is just, yeah, he's just dead. Tien might be following suit here. These briefcases are really hurting. Can't steal now. We've said it already, but Yorick being this far ahead this early, it's just a real rough story. Takes down the turret here towards the top side as well. That is first turret blood. That gold lead is only extending. It's Top Esports on this streak for now, but Histo in the area. Yeah, and Eddie moving on in as well. And Tien, he just can't really tank this up either. He's doing a lot of damage as the Bone Skewer does go wide. Yeah, going to get cocooned himself and is snared up there as well. Great chain CC. They take out the Elite Supreme Display of Talent onto only Dire, but it should be able to work out here as the Arcane Storm comes in. The ace in the hole to lock down the Kiana though, and Histo is not dying today. Just wanders out of the way, and they are going to look for the dragon as well.
Yeah, they're going to go right back to it. BA just respawned. He's running out there, but Blunt needs some help.
Yeah, nice Bone Skewer there. Flash over, down he goes! No stun to come on through. The Ghoulie Wall comes on over, but Cream going to try and throw out the Force of Will. They take down the raid boss, but Eddie is looking for some revenge. Cream's flashing out of the way. Histo finds the briefcase, and Fengwei, yeah, you're not getting out of that one. Eddie is still looking for Cream. One more auto, there it is! And they finish it off. It's 12-6.
He tries to flash it out, but dies anyway. But on the other side.
Well, in the meantime, we've just got Dire walking out of the way of the death from below. Still, he's going to die. They managed to get the pick on to this Victor. Top Esports just trying to find anything back into this game, and getting picks like that in side lanes could be an avenue, especially if Eddie's also going to die. And Team Secret Wales starting to fumble a little.
Yeah, they are getting picked off in these side lanes. TES are grouping up. They're the ones with the engage tools. They're the ones with the playmaking, and they have to keep utilizing it. And that was about a 2,000 gold lead that just got deleted pretty much during a replay. So that was about how quickly that did go away. You can see York is still on top side and is pushing. BA and Histo want to keep enabling Pun. When you're playing York, you want to be inside lanes. You want to be pressuring towers. That is really
does not have as much flexibility as the death rate comes down, and he is just extremely dead.
I mean, that is so much of that damage is the Elise. It's actually crazy because D-Ray
the
is way
execute
behind.
on the spider form Q, my god.
It is so much damage, especially with the damage jam from the support item.
Yeah.
Damage jam from the support item, has the rocket belt already finished. BA doing a good job with his lead that he got from that 2v2. But TES trying to hang on. They're losing a lot in these side lanes, though.
Yeah, there are a lot of pings out towards this inner turret, towards the bottom lane.
Charge.
Yeah, that is Shelly now moving towards the mid lane, where they have 3 people already there. And so that is just going to be executed. Shelly getting a whole lot of value. And they're going to send all of these Void Mites towards the inner turret as well. And so inner on the top side of the map is also likely to fall down, but D-Ray is going to be able to at least get here to deal with these minions. But I think this is still going to fall.
Yeah, I think it definitely will. I mean, this gold graph is becoming a bit of a roll.
Yeah. So it's not as much of an issue, but Caitlyn probably still wanting 4 items to really be valuable. As Pun possibly in trouble here as Tien taking a lot of damage. The Unleashed Power comes in, and that is going to be enough to execute this Yorick. Took 4 people to do so.
On Tien. There's also no ult on Cream. They don't want to give them soul point here early.
They have the vision. Tien is going to move on over. Just steals it. All right. Just Q smite. And that is that.
And that is actually really...
To find out what's going on. Histo should be able to walk in there. Mundo does indeed go where he pleases as they find a lot of damage onto Cream. Fangway is going to be able to get himself out of there, but now doesn't have the cooldowns as Jackie Love forced to flash out of the way. And look at Histo. He's just a brick wall wandering at them with that ulti running. And Top Esports can do nothing if the Mundo is all buffed up like this. Worried about Tien as well. He just walked over and stole your dragon. This could be a difficult time as well, as they do have vision over the wall. Team Secret Whales just wanting to go for a reset where they can, as the Maiden is the one tanking this up. I want Pun to move her away from it.
I think he maybe unleashed
Did he disconnect
it? Maybe he double tapped it. Either that or it's bugged, but they're not pausing, so I'm assuming he is just
going to back it away.
That looked super bugged then. I'm not going to lie, because the fact that it walked back to him, I will say the Maiden AI leaves something to be desired at times. You do have to play really weird in some matchups where you know, the Maiden will just refuse to back away and you have to literally base to heal it. So it didn't end up dying, and they did get the TP off Jackie Love.
Oh, that reaction time was gorgeous, but Eddie still going to be able to dash forward. Jackie will be trading the kill back. But BA is at least able to take him out. Bonesky are going to connect onto the Spider as well. The Ignite down. Fangway needs to be very careful when facing off against this Elise because he just doesn't upset. But the Drake is being pulled out. Histo is moving over here. Let's see whether he can win this smite fight, as this could even out the Drakes for Top Esports. Now we have a fight on the opposite side. Pun is going to get pulled back and executed. They're going to try and burst this one down. They do manage to claim the Dragon, but they have to sacrifice their Yorick to do it.
Yeah, Pun taking a very aggressive angle. He knew that Zweon, because he had seen him with an R-bar fully charged in bot. You have to expect that he's on that side. He thought he was tanky enough that he could just walk right through, but he did not go Sterix. He went Chojin second. Now he's trying to get a bit more armor, but honestly, because they get the Dragon, that is totally worth it. Yeah, you die, you know, kind of just stay in the sides, get gold back, and Pun, you know, becoming a little bit less relevant in that 1v1, but still in a good spot.
How quickly can they kill this Mundo? That's the question. Or can they kill him at all? He's just running after Tien. Fangway is going to stop him in his tracks, but it's a flash briefcase from Histo trying to turn this one around the cocoon. Doesn't quite land, but now Jackie's in an awkward spot. He has to flash. Eddie now moves over. Supreme display of talent is not named. That is the Baron. And it is just going to get taken. It's in trade for the Drake, but that is Dragon number 2. And yeah, you don't want to give up Cloud Soul, but you also really don't want to give up Baron.
Yeah, we'll see how much they can actually get done with this Baron. This is one of these things that I think in previous years would always be so bad. Dragon. If you feel like you didn't have a chance to get sold, then obviously it was your only choice, but we'll see.
Yeah, Gullywall is going to trap Jackie Love for now. His flash is available, but he's not going to invest that into just getting out of the way of that wall. Shueyan just looking for a bit of revenge, and he's just chasing down this Yorick. Gullywall does come in, but he's got the crush to get out of the way, and that is actually Jackie picking up the kill credit. But so much of that work was done by this 0-4 Nah.
Yeah, that is lethal tempo stacked up, 3 items, has the wit's end, chases him down and takes him out. And You know, Pun is a 700 gold lead, but at this point in the game, it doesn't really mean anything. You know, he was very far ahead, capped out. He's level 18. He is ridiculously strong, but he did lose his flash and won't have it for this upcoming fight, which makes the playmaking that much harder, and they might just try to go on them. Here comes Pun with TP.
This angle is so weird as well, as Histo just wanders into them. Pun, like you were saying, going to be able to shut off that exit as well. And Jackie Love trying to find the angle. The Solar Stare doesn't land, but the Cocoon does! Down goes Jackie! And now, can Fengwei do anything to stop this onslaught? The answer is so far, not really, but at least they can run towards the Team Secret Whales base. The ulti now going to run out here from his toes, looking for...
Whale is trying to go for the game.
Yeah, he's trying to look for it. Okay, Cream now at 2/3 health. They're just trying to stop the backs, I guess, as this inhibitor turret should be falling. There it is. Inhib should be going down as well. Team Secret Whales do just want to kill Cream before anything else happens. They will be able to do that, but without an inhibitor turret towards the top side of the map, it's going to mean that they haven't necessarily found a lead just yet.
No, not at all. Tien, though, might
9
find
seconds.
Eddie.
Oh dear, finds Eddie, but he flashes out of the way. It's not going to be enough to be able to keep him alive, as Histo should be able to kill Tien, but he has to flash to follow him. And this briefcase needs to land. He misses it.
Can't quite get him. And that ends up being so big for TES, because now Eddie died at the worst moment. That means they are down a man here for this dragon. It is 25 seconds till Cream's back, though. Yep,
Fengwei is going to go down to 50% health there as well. Does manage to light the Mundo on fire, but Mundo doesn't seem to be too worried about it. The regroup is here, though, and it looks like Team Secret Whales are going to give up this dragon and the Maiden. Although she does survive with 30 health, never mind.
Yeah, D-Ray wasn't there, so they're in a 3v4, and they know that Cream is going to be up before Eddie, so they basically have to do it. That is such a huge pick. Big-time play by Tien, who has really been doing a lot of that. One from Fengwei are up for TES pretty soon, because Tien is going to have his back in maybe 15 seconds.
Oh, Shuyan is just stacking up that Naba once again. The Baron on the table, going to be the next port of call here, as Dire going to be getting out of the way of Tien. The Arcane Storm now, as Histo is just in amongst 4 people, as he kind of likes. Now Meganar going to be coming through for Jueyan as well, but Eddie now just peppering him with bullets. Tien in so much trouble. Sidestep great from Dire as well. As now the Crush gets out, the Nara is going to be used defensively, and Histo is obviously there, throwing these briefcases around. The Guardian Angel is going to be up for Tien, but it should be taken down pretty quickly. And TSW just chasing them all the way down the rift. Jackie the first to die yet again. And this time Team Secret Whales should be able to find the angle. Histo almost dies to that unleashed power, but if he doesn't, that health bar comes back basically immediately.
Yeah, they're going to be able to heal it back up. They're rushing over to the Baron. That chase just lasted forever, but it was just the 1 kill. It's just Jackie, so they still are not dealing game-ending damage. They can take the Baron again. We saw how ineffective it was last time, though. TES has taken dragon after dragon after dragon, staving off this Cloud Soul that feels like it would be a game ender.
Yeah.
Because, look at these fights. Think about it.
On that one, and you mentioned already Void Staff Rabadons that both of these mages have is very scary. Great Cocoon is going to connect here. Do they have the damage, though? That's the question. As they get BA up into the sky, and it's absolutely a yes as Eddie gets that headshot. Betrayon goes in, and there is the stun. Pun makes his way forward. Jackie the next target. Supreme display of talent. Mundo just laughs that off as Tien is going to get put down to that GA surely in a few moments. D-Ray's going to do it. Jackie tries to get the ulti, and now Top Esports, I think this is their final moments at MSI for 2026. A team no stranger to disappoint, but the Team Secret Whales, what an incredible performance. Managing to come back after a tough loss against Humble Life Esports, our first 4-game series here at MSI.